That's Boo Fam. Peace and blessings. This is Derric RauKhu. And in this video, I wanted to talk about something that I thought was a little odd. And it wasn't until I actually started learning about the nature of spirits that it really came to me that, you kind of got to be leery of any spirit that basically says that they're jealous. Okay. Now, and what do I mean by that? Well, first of all, in the Kemetic tradition, remember, we're taught that basically it was Set who was jealous of Osir. He was completely jealous and envious of all of his success, everything that basically he accomplished, everything that that was attributed to him. All those things, all the positive that you work for, this is what Set was basically jealous of. And as a result of his jealousy, he basically went ahead and he acted on it and murdered Osir. Okay. So in the Kemetic tradition, remember, we're taught about that. We learn about that. We learned that, this is why you should really be, watchful of that whole jealous energy, that jealous spirit. Okay. But I'm reminded of the fact, because I got into a conversation with someone who was not of the spiritual or not in spiritual traditions. And they got to talking about how, God is a jealous God. And that kind of triggered. And it's like, well, if your God is a jealous God, then is your God really a God, or is it a person? You get what I'm saying? Because from a spiritual understanding, from a metaphysical understanding, God is supposed to be beyond any type of human emotions. All right? God is supposed to be, or God is beyond human emotions. All right? Why would you serve or worship a God that basically has the same kind of emotional instability that we have? That doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, it basically means that God is, for the most part, very fickle in nature. One day God likes you, one day God doesn't like you for whatever reason. And because of that, hey, guess what? I don't feel like blessing you. Why would you worship a God or a deity like that? You get what I'm saying? So I just wanted to go ahead and I wanted to, get you to, kind of put this out there that that's not the nature of, or the true nature of spirits. Okay. Anytime you're dealing with a spirit who is saying they're jealous, and that kind of helps you to understand this spirit is really, they used to be a human, this used to be a human spirit if they are jealous of anything you do. All right. Now, I know this for a fact, mainly because when we work with spirits, when we work with our ancestors and spirit guides, I notice, in my relationship with my, ancestral spirits or so, is that, like if I give certain offerings, I feel a certain way and feel drawn to give another type of offering to another spirit who might be there a little bit longer. Okay. And I kind of get that sense mainly because I understand these were once human beings. These were, all your spirits were once human beings. They were, they were living, breathing, walking people. Okay. And they still hold on to that, even though they may have transitioned. And it takes them a little while to go ahead and get rid of that. Okay. But again, like I said, so that gives me a better understanding of how to actually work with spirits. It gives me a better understanding of even how to, how to feed your spirits. You're giving your spirits energy. You give them, give them light, give them some candles, give them, water, some food offering, or whatever the case is. You can get that sense. You get that idea of, when you're giving them an offering, you can feel them being elevated. Okay. But if you got a spirit, like I said, like the great Jehovah, who's talking about, I'm jealous, I'm jealous of other gods, I'm jealous of all this, then basically is referring to the fact that this entity wants all of your energy. And when you think about it from that perspective, it kind of makes sense why so many people are, they feel like they are, like they're being pimped. And if they don't do this, this is what's going to happen. If you don't give me, if you don't give me my tithing, you're going to be punished. If you don't attend church every day, this is what's going to happen to you. You're not going to be blessed. You're not going to receive any type of blessings. And I'm saying that because I'm trying to get us to really look at that and see what type of spirit is it that we are. If you're in that type of relationship, what type of spirit are you serving or are you worshiping? This is something you ought to be leery of. This is something you ought to be very, very leery of. And when you come to the conclusion that this might not be right for you, that you are basically being pimped, that's when you go ahead and your warrior spirits and all the other spirits, ancestral spirits, spirit guides that support you and surround you, that's when they come to your aid and they will help you to leave that spiritually abusive relationship that you are in. Okay? So I just wanted to go ahead, like I said, I wanted to share that basically because, like I said, I got into conversation with someone and they were talking this way and I was like, nah, I don't think so. I don't have that same kind of rapport with my spirits and with my, with the divine. From my perspective, the divine, nature is the bomb, and on all levels. There is no reward and punishment for doing things like that. Okay, because we're a little bit older. We are supposed to be evolving to become gods. If you're a child of God, not a servant or can't say that word, but not someone who's basically being pimped. There we go. Okay, that's a better terminology or better term for it. All right. So anyway, like I said, just wanted to go ahead and share that with you. Once again, thanks for liking, sharing, subscribing. If you got any questions, give me questions or comments, just hit me up. Talk to you later. At the poo. Peace.
Just take it on. Just take it on to the house. Come on, Tickle. Be strong. Be strong, Tickle. Be strong. Just take it home.